Greetings and salutations, folks. We are back with more Feng Shui Second Edition. Huzzah!
Yeah!
When we left off last time, you guys had dealt with the. You guys had the big fight with the quote the governor end quote, who was totally the governor and totally not a ninja in disguise.
Yeah. I was very annoyed when I realized that.
The governor has not taken some of his concubines and run the fuck away. Nope, not at all. Oh wait, that's exactly what he did.
Makes sense. What are you gonna do?
Governor Kong is a coward, but he's also very capable of reading handwriting on walls. And when he saw someone had stolen everything from his vault, he said, "Oh fuck, I'm out of here."
Well, okay.
So he will never show up again. Totally, nope, never.
No, and the wizard who got swallowed by the demon, he'll never show up.
Oh, there's lots of stuff that'll never happen again. Anywho,
no.
So you guys dealt with that. The generals, you do have arranged for someone new to take over as governor, at least in the short term. Doop. I need to get something up here. 1 second.
Don't worry, there's plenty of time for corruption to occur.
Oh, please.
Corruption in ancient China? The hell you say?
Corruption in government? You jest, surely. Ha ha. A very, very amusing jape.
The new governor just comes in and he's there for like 2 minutes, and then there's just like a subtitle. No, there's like a subtitle at the bottom, and it says this person went on to become the most ruthless ruler of all China.
A bit of an Animal House thing at the end.
Yeah.
Went on to assassinate the emperor and became the most corrupt emperor of all time. That would never happen. Anywho, you all, so the big thing that of note happening happening here before you guys really feel like if you guys, I guess you guys could. There's not really not left to do here other than Olan meeting with the captain of the guard. Unless there's something
personal.
I think I do think Zhao wants to meet up with what was his name again? Inspector Ping about the incoming new governor. Also, if I remember correctly.
Inspector Ping he wanted to meet with Inspector Ping about getting information about the snake.
Right, that's what it was. Sorry, but you can find out a bit more about the new governor if you want to. I think.
Right. Well, who did we lose?
All right, so Olan, whom are you bringing with you, if anyone, to meet with the captain of the guard?
Yeah, anyone who wants to come. It's a party,
I'm asking who's going, and who's going with Zhao to meet, or if Zhao's going separately to his.
Zhao is probably going off to do his thing while they're dealing with this.
So we are splitting the party. Who is going where? Or are people staying behind at the camp?
I will say that Yuri is going to follow Olan, and he's going to be, skulking about in her usual manner. So she will accompany on her terms.
Fair enough.
I suppose that means
you're coming with me, and we don't get to talk, I guess.
I like the idea of like Olan trying to turn to ask the Yuri, and there's like a little tree stump log there, just like it's parrying conversation with
it's a tree that's got like branches on it that are like positioned to look like Yuri's hair. And there's a scribbled frown on it.
Allow me to be as obvious with my stealth as possible.
Like someone finds that, or like there obviously is no one around here. This is just a natural growing tree here. So,
You're a
anyways,
tree, please move along. Yeah.
You're a hedge. Move along.
I suppose I should go with Zhao then. Just
Sure, that sounds good. And Batu will Batu will accompany Olan and be the big, strong, silent type because Eric, unfortunately, is sick and can't be here.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, so off we go, I guess, then. Cool.
Ooh.
All right, give me 1 second. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm just going to drop something into the here, and I'm going to drop it into Discord for you guys because because just it popped in my head and I have to share.
Oh, yeah. Right.
It is tiny.
Unfortunately, I can't find a larger version of it online quickly.
It's a very old comic, so... Yeah.
It is from the original Tick Comics.
yeah, they didn't have high resolution images in those comics back then.
Really, we are a hedge. We are a hedge. Please move along.
Paper technology did not allow for high enough fidelity.
Well, sir, I would not be shocked if there was not a digital version of that of the comic.
I mean, I do have an omnibus with all of the Tick Comics printed in it. It came out semi recently, but I don't know if it's been digitized ever. But yes, that was from issue, I want to say 3. Night of the Million Zillion Ninja, I believe. Anywho, sorry, just ninja disappearing, leaving tree behind. That pops in my head. I might be a gigantic fan of the Tick. Maybe just a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't say.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. So we're going to you get the group splits, and we're going to we will deal with Olan's group first.
Okay.
So you arrive back at the palace. You see, it is cleaning up is being done. Because there was a big fight that happened here. It looks like that the palace guard, the very tired palace guards, and the somewhat chagrined-looking Imperial soldiers are working together to clean things up. And you see the same.
I'm still the captain to some of them, so
And you see, that's probably kind of. You see the same bureaucrat you read into before, who told you that the captain couldn't meet you with at that time, at the desk waiting there. Who looks up?
I cross my arms and tap my foot in front of him.
How may I help you, miss?
I am here to see the captain now that he has returned.
The captain. Oh, hang on. I need to get I need to remind myself of the name. Hold on.
Yeah,
I have it written down
because it has been several weeks since I had mentioned to me a few times. So.
Yes. Yes. Captain Shun. You wish to see Captain Shun. May I ask who wishes to see him? And what business?
Okay, I kind of look over at Batu. I was like, they said that I could just go and talk to him without having to deal with all this guy again. I hate this. Yes. My name is Olan, and I may potentially have business with the captain regarding a purchase that he may have made.
I understand. At which point you do see a soldier sort of look at you, look over what's going on, walks up. Are you here to see your Captain Shun?
Yes.
I remember you from yesterday. You come with us. Come with me. But
okay.
the bureau has it. But protocols. The captain will see her. Come along, and you can bring your large friend with you.
Olan is not the type to make rude gestures, but she would otherwise.
I'm going to say as soon as everyone is not looking for her own amusement, Yuri is just going to drop an item that will spill one of the bureaucrats' inkwells.
Oh dear! Ah! How did that happen? How did that fall? Where did that fall from? Ah!
It's going to take days to replace this paper.
So much paperwork I have to fix.
Oh, what? You're stuck in paperwork? Poor baby.
Oh, dear. There's like a bureaucrat for the bureaucrats who's like, oh, well, if you want to fix your paperwork, you have to fill out this form.
I wouldn't put it outside the realm of possibility.
The bureaucracy must be maintained.
Who bureaucracies? Who bureaus the bureaucrats? There we go.
All right, moving on.
Yeah. All right. So the soldier leads you on and says, I do apologize. I say she means well, but, you know. I say he means well, but.
I was going to say, I don't think that they would have allowed women to be in that position.
You'd be surprised, actually.
Well, I guess it depends on which dynasty and all that.
It does depend on the dynasty, yes. Later eras, there were actually a bunch of court ladies who would fill that sort of role, actually. Yeah. At any rate, you are escorted along, and you see you're escorted past. You're escorted through you're escorted through the training grounds, which are less busy than normal, mostly because, well. Everyone's very tired.
Ouchies.
Yeah, there's a lot of injuries and ouchies and etc. And you're shown into the you are as you're approaching the captain's office, you hear someone sort of roaring bellowing going on about at guards being incompetent. Well, not actually, no. More accurately, at the officers specifically. And you eventually, as you get close, you're able to make out what the. How did you let the governor run the people that ragged? You idiots! You work around the governor in that situation. He's not going to know who's been on shift the whole time. Let people go home. Ugh. And the soldier says, "Wait out here." He pokes his head in. You hear, "What?" He's, "Oh, sorry, you're not one of my what is it?" There's a young woman named Olan who wishes to see you. She says it's on a business matter. The governor, you see that you can hear the mental gears turning. And Olan, that name's vaguely. Please show her in. You three, I'm not done with you yet. Just go back to your quarters. I'll talk to you. And you are shown that you see three very chagrined-looking guard officers sort of walking out, sort of, they've been, you can tell, they've been scolded by the man in charge, and they know they fucked up. And the soldier says, "You can see the captain now."
All right. So I'm going to approach kind of in the way that I would when, like, under like the assumption that the captain is like a client. Kind of thing.
Sure.
So professional, respectful,
Yep.
but in the manner of like, this is a business transaction as opposed to, like, oh, we are at court or anything.
Right.
I'm going to step away for a little bit.
That's fine.
Half-Neff isn't doing so well, so I'm gonna make him some food. I'll be back before long.
Roger. So I'm going to approach the captain and say, Captain Shun, I was given a lead that perhaps we have a common bond and that I might have something for you.
Oh, really?
Have you had dealings with my father, Yezi?
That is where I knew the name from. Yes, he made me this, actually. He reaches down, pulls out a hang on, let me see. I gotta find the right type of sword here. 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
would it likely have been? So something along the lines of Jihuan Dao. It's one of those it looks sort of vaguely scimitar like with like the rings on the back.
Okay.
So he puts it on the table and says, he made me this. I commissioned this from him, and it has served me exceptionally well ever since.
I see.
So you said you potentially another sword. I don't believe I commissioned another sword from him, but so you're his daughter. I think I remember seeing you around the forge when I commissioned this many years ago. It's a pleasure to see you again. I'm sorry, I don't. What sort of sword was it?
She's going to take the Dao, the Jian. Oh, sorry, no, I just got the two confused because you said it. She's going to take the Jian
Right.
off of her back, and she's going to place it,
Ooh.
on the floor in front of.
This is a beautiful Qian.
And completely different type of sword because it's a straight blade versus a curved blade.
Yes.
So.
Oh, I don't think this is. I very like the commission. I tend to prefer blades with more curve on them, but that is an excellent sword. So you say your father? It's someone. So your father does not know who commissioned it, or you sorry, you do not know who commissioned it.
Yes, that's correct.
Ah, interesting. So you've been, huh?
I thought that I would deliver it, but I am afraid that I don't know where my destination is now.
That is that makes that. I'm trying. May I hold it briefly, so I can feel the weight and such. Yeah. All right. Yeah, this would not be balanced for me either properly. My build's not quite right for it, but yeah. I don't know. She hands it back. I mean, there are many swordsmen who use Jian, obviously.
Do you know of anyone else who may have seen my father? Any of your peers?
There are a couple I'm thinking of. The of my peers, people I've worked. I do know that actually, I don't know if you will remember this, but when I came to commission this sword, when he had his sword, one of my good friends who is who's a member of the Imperial Guard, who's a captain in the Imperial Guard, came with me, and I don't think he commissioned anything at the time, but he might have returned to commission something later because he was very impressed with your father's work. And he favors the Jian.
The Imperial Court.
The Imperial Guard specifically.
Right. Okay.
I have not seen him in some years, so I don't know where he's stationed at the moment. But I could write you a letter of introduction if you'd like. That should help.
Yes.
That should help seeing him when you actually do find where he is.
She thinks about the bureaucrat and is like, yeah, I'll take that. Yes.
All right. So your father is still. He gets out some paper, parchment, and a brush. Okay. I just need to write this name down before so I don't forget it.
Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of funny to imagine, like, because he got parchment out, that it's like, hang on, I'm gonna forget his name if I don't put it down. My very good friend that I've known for a long time.
All right. So his name is Teng Guying.
Teng
Teng Gui Ying. And yeah, he's a member. Last I talked to him, which is unfortunately been a couple of years, but he was a member of the Imperial Guard. He was a captain, same rank as me, but in the Imperial Guard. Brilliant swordsman. Possibly the best I've met, actually. And as I said, yeah, he might be the man you're looking for. If he's not, he might be able to tell you who it is. Who is? He's
somehow.
He knows most of the other great swordsmen in the land.
Well, at least I have somewhere else to go to. Well,
by the way, you carry yourself like you have some training with the blade.
I don't have formal training, but I'm all right with it.
Ah, interesting. Well, as you are the daughter of a man I admire, and you probably should, if you, while you do have a very large bodyguard with you,
oh, he's not my. No, never mind.
If you would not mind, I would like to see I'd like to see your skill with the blade, if you don't mind.
Well, you have done me a great favor, so if that is what you ask in return, then I would be happy.
Excellent. You mostly use the Jian then?
Mostly, yes.
Excellent. All right. He walks over to he walks out. He says, "Follow me out into the training yard." He gestures over to the training sword rack. There should be a training Jian there for you to use. I'd rather not actually either damage our swords or each other significantly.
Of course. So she'll, I guess, pick up like a wooden or blunted sword. Then.
And he grabs a training version of his sword, which I've already forgotten the name of. I have to scroll down to it again. This list of Chinese swords I found.
Find it. Yeah, I was trying to find it, but is it?
I'm back.
I've already lost the image of it. Holy crap!
I know that there is. I know
there
that
it is.
there are a lot of things called Dao, but so.
All right, let me grab I'll grab a little a quick screen cap of this so that since.
There's a Tang Dao. But that's like a later one.
All right. I will both pop it onto into the image for the stream and for you guys.
Is it the Gojan thing?
It's called the Jihuan Dao.
That's the guy. Okay.
I just need to find the damn thing in my images. Here we go. I may be mispronouncing it badly.
Ah. Okay.
And I don't know if I can.
Juhan, I think.
Yeah. Yes. That is what it looks like.
Nasty.
Yes. It's a big choppy sword.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
We have our practice bladey things.
Yes. All right. I guess we could do a quick sort of roll here.
Yeah.
All right. So give me a martial arts roll. This is a sparring match. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I rolled high.
So you did. He rolled slightly below average. Well, so he comes at you absolutely just like you absolutely just catch him off guard. You are way better than he was expecting you to be. He came at you like, yeah, you said you had no formal training, et cetera, et cetera. He's like, oh wait, no, she's actually quite good. So
right.
after
definitely So it would seem, given that his skill is raw better than mine, that with time he would definitely win.
Yes.
But
no. So basically, the sparring match starts out with you basically pressing him because you are much better than you expected. But he's able to basically eventually get the upper hand towards the end of it. You come close to actually flat out beating him, but it's effectively a draw.
Right.
So, aha! You are much better than I thought you were. Well done. You sell your skills short, miss.
Well,
She does that.
Shut up! Not you.
I'm helping.
It's necessary to be somewhat familiar with the blade in order to be a proper craftsman, and
Absolutely.
that is what I am trying to do.
I totally believe that. And but what I'm saying is that you are not merely have some familiarity with the blade. You are a skilled swordswoman on your own right.
Well, all right. Well, thank you, Captain.
You're very welcome.
And thank you for...
I will say this, if you ever decide that you do not wish to work in your father's shop or what have you, if you're ever looking for work, I would happily take you on as a member of the guard, as under my command at some point. No matter what anyone else says, you are skilled enough. You are definitively skilled enough to merit it.
I couldn't possibly be a member of the guard. 3 people walk by going, Captain.
I think I know. That sort of happens. He's like, so you're the one that got some of my men have been talking about from yesterday. I see.
I just needed them to get out of the way, and
well, it worked. And I assume that you're the large gentleman who was in from the stables. Got it.
I need the horses. They needed repair. I'm a horse repairman.
I see.
Also, your horses are not. What's wrong with your horses? They aren't nearly.
My
as
horses
good as,
are better. They're
than
not
yours.
small little twigs like in this continent.
Do you think one of your horses could hold
why is that
person
impression so good? Holy shit!
God. So what's happening in these scenes is like all the scenes that with Batu are just from Batu's back because the actor wasn't there for that day.
ADR.
Just had like a tall statue be carted around.
Yeah,
ADR'd over.
It's just ADR'd, yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming by. I have some reports to work on. There's troubles brewing in the north, and I need to send messages on to pass on the information. Many more of his people have been spotted up coming down from the north in large numbers.
Many more of whose?
Gestures up at Batu.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, many of them. Interestingly, have been running around with someone who apparently they've been raiding a bunch of villages much further to the north as they seem to be moving south. The interesting thing is I'm hearing reports of someone wearing something resembling Imperial robes riding with them.
Lon, like, folds her arms, looks up at Batu.
It's probably nothing to worry about.
Yeah, there it is.
We can probably safely ignore that.
Man, Eric was right. Batu is easy to run.
You just complain about Chinese horses all the time.
and steadfastly ignore your own problems.
Yeah.
the only problem I have is with these horses.
All right, Captain.
Anyways.
Well, God. Well, Captain, thank you very much for your time today. I will. I'll let my father know that you remember him well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I may actually come. Now that you've mentioned him, I might actually commission something, a sword to match mine. Do a matched pair might be fun to. It might be nice to have. I will think on that. But yes, I appreciate you coming by, but I have much work to do, and many officers and sergeants to yell at for not doing the bloody obvious thing. The governor's an idiot. You work around him.
I will politely excuse myself for him to be an angry man.
Very well.
And leave him.
All right. And then we will cut over to Zhao and Dalu. Both of you arrive as you travel through the streets. Honestly, the areas away from the palace are in perfectly fine shape for the most part. Most of the fighting seemed to actually happen back at the palace, around the palace proper.
Yeah, Zhao is definitely looking around as we're walking. She's like, well, things could have gone a lot worse. These people seem to be relatively unscathed.
Relatively so, yes.
Sorry. Was that directed towards Dalu? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was directed at Dalu.
I'm sorry.
I
got distracted in the middle of that, so you'll need to run that by me again. I'm sorry.
Zhao said, he's like, well, things could have turned out a lot worse. People out here seem to be relatively intact.
It's one way to describe the matter, though. I usually would say intact to describe objects rather than people, but the question is that hopefully that things can recover from the chaos that had sort of overspilled into the streets.
Well, that is the glory of the Middle Kingdom. We always do seem to endure.
Well, we endure because of the people that inhabit the kingdom. The kingdom itself, it's dynasties come and go, right?
Yeah, like Zhao's kind of nodding along, and at the bottom of the screen, it's like this message is not endorsed by the Communist Party.
I mean,
clearly, clearly in certain regional dubs, Daolu says, as you know, dynasties do last forever, and there's never been a dynasty before the present one. Any ones prior to this one do not exist and are merely myth.
It is all propaganda.
It's all propaganda.
All propaganda.
Let's just replace half of Daolu's lines with "it's all propaganda," and that would probably get past certain approvals.
all right.
So we get there and we.
No. Keep going. If you've got something else.
Yeah. Zhao was just kind of nodding along. It's like, that's why we're trying to install something better. Things don't last all the time. All we can do is try to do the best for these people.
That is the aspiration. That is the goal. But it really depends on whether those who are entrusted to the well-being of their citizens have the citizens' interests in equal heart. I probably don't need to say this too much to you, but you probably have been exposed to far too many individuals who are more concerned about their own enrichment rather than the health, well-being, and the general stability for those that they are supposed to be protecting.
Yeah, and then at this point, the stirring music starts playing. It's like indeed, there's so much corruption, and I've fought so long. I yearn for a time when things will be more peaceful, but we will know.
you yearn for a time. I mean, aren't you part of the very system itself? Couldn't you be the one that puts into motion that which you desire?
He's kind of like looking introspectively a little bit to himself. He's like, maybe that is what I'm doing.
Well, at which point you arrive at Inspector Ping's office, or etc. And you enter, and you see the good inspector looking through paper. Spectacles. He's wearing spectacles because I like the image, even if they are anachronistic. Looks up.
What are their glasses in ancient China?
Inspector Zhao, good to see you. And your associate. Please sit. I actually do have some information for you. I don't know how useful it'll be, but I do have some.
The precursors of spectacles can be traced back to the Eastern Han Dynasty, AD 25 to 20 in China.
Well, there we go. That is actually contemporary. That is actually this era, so sure. Wow.
It's the latest thing.
They are the latest thing. Not the late. This is a bit later, but that is first century China. So, yes,
it's the prototype.
So, basically, in good news, incoming replacement governor Tianfen should be arriving, I believe, tomorrow.
Excellent. And
He's an official with with a good reputation, and is a good reputation for being fairly honest. So I'll take it for now.
yeah, Zhao's nodding along. Like I know it was short notice. I appreciate you finding the best you could get.
I'm astonished I find someone as good as he is. To be perfectly honest, but I think more pressing for you is that that sigil of the snake you showed me.
Yeah, Zhao like puts out his teeth and kind of leans in, interested.
So I've been looking for it, and it's a fairly common basic character, but I'm looking for its uses in more surreptitious ways, I suppose. Along with these, the way you described where you found it would lead me to believe it was tied to sort of more some things along either criminal or espionage related.
Yes, that was my understanding as well.
Yes, and the only thing I found was from I was able to find something, and I do not know how accurate this is, and I do not know if it applies. Found nothing in the criminal underworld information I was able to find. At least, there are organizations who use the symbol of the snake as to identify themselves with, but none of them would do something along these lines. They're more sort of just straight up gangs, really. They might have a snake tattoo. This has a tattoo maybe somewhere, but they probably just have an actual tattoo of a snake. However, I did find that there was a small intelligence agency, a group, who operated under a previous emperor's during a previous dynasty, who did use this as a way to on hidden documents to identify themselves to one another.
Yeah, he's like, things are starting to add up then. Is there anything else you can tell me about this?
What I can see is they were sort of that emperor's secret police, from what I can tell, and also did a fair bit of spying on other. They were his secret police and spied on. They were mostly tasked to keep an eye on the governors and such in various provinces. They did not have a particularly savory reputation, shall we say? but they were very efficient from what I've been able to read.
Yeah, Zhao kind of less. So they were precursors. Precursors. Precursor? What? It's like, well, that's something to go on then. It's an outdated spy agency operating in this day and age. It's potentially against the Emperor.
Well, I would, given that the from what I've been able to read, the current Emperor, they shouldn't still exist. I'll put it that way. From what I've read, they were forcibly disbanded by the current Emperor's agents. They were not helpful during the transition to the current dynasty, shall we say?
Zhao is just he's done. He's like, I see. They were supporters of the previous dynasty, and they were a little upset about the change in leadership.
From what I've read, yes. Again, these texts are written by current chroniclers who may have a bias.
I see.
But I believe this to be accurate, but I do want to be clear that they might believe something entirely different. I do not know.
Zhao, gets up and gives him a detail. It's like, thank you for everything you've done.
I can provide you with here. This is he hands you a small sheaf of paper. This is what record I have of any members who the only surviving record, the only record I've been able to find with listing any members of the organization whose names we were able to find. I've been able to find. They were a secret organization. They tended to keep their names, not public. But these are ones I was able to find. I don't know if it'll be helpful to you or not, but I hope it will be. But yes, they were referred to as the Jade Serpent Society.
Serpent Society. Let me write that down in my very brief notes. Right. Zhao takes the papers and he's like, well, at least it's a lead. And again, he resumes. He was going to bow before the papers. He's like, Dr. Ping, you've been most helpful. I hope you will look out for our associates when he gets here.
I will endeavor to do so. Hopefully things will be smoother here in future, especially without the previous governor or his brother around.
Be sure to give him a swift kick in the pants if he shows back up with his concubines.
Oh, I have instructed Captain Chun to bar his entry, shall we say. He gives a small smile.
and he laughs. All right. Delu, do you have anything you wanted to do this scene?
I think Skitch had to step away briefly.
I don't have too much to contribute either because
that's also fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right. Then I think the scene's over. Yes.
So, all right. Then we have dealt with the stuff you guys need to deal with in the city.
Well, I do think that there might be something that Renee and I could do.
Is there anything, Forneus, are you still here?
I'm here.
Good. Okay. So, is there anything you would like to do while in the city?
As far as the city itself, I don't have any particular care or inclination at the moment.
All right. Give me an investigation roll, actually, Fornea.
Oh, okay.
A 10.
10.
All right. All right. Why you were? I will say this. You tend to be somewhat snoopy, a bit something of a snoop, anyways.
Yeah.
So while Olan and the captain were sparring, you did sort of peruse his papers sort of out of offhand curiosity.
Had I actually been here, I probably would have done that.
Yes. Yeah, I kind of thought as much, so I figured I'd suggest.
Thank you.
This is in the realm of things that Yuri probably would do.
Yeah. Things that Fernea would probably do.
Yes. You do note that you are able to read some of his partial report he's been working on that he was interrupted by when he started yelling at his officers about the Mongols. That it covers basically what I said before. You know, there's a sizable group of Mongols who are south of the wall somehow. They're being reported by someone who is riding with them in Imperial garb. Despite this, they are raiding villages and towns and such as they go. And they are moving south, and they seem to be moving in the general direction of the capital.
Definitely going to take a rubbing of this.
Cool. All right, and if you would like to give me an intrusion roll. 15. Okay, you definitively leave no traces. And you are gone like the wind. She does that. All right, and with that, you all can reconvene at the camp and decide where you're going next.
So Zhao is obviously perusing the list of names at the campsite. Is there anything on there that particularly stands out to him?
That's a good question, actually.
Perhaps this might be something like a Imperial etiquette. Like if you notice
give me a roll, sure.
All right.
19. Yes, I will say definitely there's a name that stands out to you. Hang on. I had not decided on this at the head of time, but this gives me an opportunity to throw another plot hook in here that might pull things along the direction we should be heading. You do recognize a name on there. You see the name Wen Mu. Now, you don't know Wen Mu directly. But you do know a Wen Jin. Wen Mu, you think is the name of Wen Jin's father. Wen Jin is another Imperial inspector that you know who also operates in the same sort of general vicinity you do.
That's likely to the north, where we need to be heading.
Quite possibly, yeah. He's you remember him being very by the book,
which can make them on the one hand, being by the book is what you want somebody to be. On the other hand, it's also really suspicious sometimes. It might seem that the venom runs in the family. The best way to operate is to
Wen Ji. The name. I'm sorry, I misread what I wrote down.
Wen Ji.
Yep.
So, Zhao is taking note of that as the others are doing what they need to be doing in the camp right now, which is your cue for everyone to take up the
Why are we supposed to take the baton at this point?
Yes.
Okay. You trailed off there, and I was like, huh? Like leaning in, like I was like, yeah. Oh.
So yes, you've all reconvened at camp, and now can talk about what you want to do next, and share information as you see fit.
Olan has her elbows on her knees and her chin in her fist, like,
You have a bad habit of not accepting a compliment. You know that?
It's not that I wasn't pleased by it. It's just shut up.
It's the second time you've had the audacity to say that to me today.
Hmm.
My journey continues. It seems so. I have to find a let me see if I can pronounce this right after I wrote it down. A Tingui.
Well, if you're insisting on being a town-to-town Blaze salesperson, you better at least, make sure that you aren't operating on an empty stomach, so you can focus on your goals. Then I'm just gonna do an odd jobs roll to determine if the quality of the food.
All right, sure, go for it.
I'm gonna be a jerk and burn a fortune on it because why not? There's a 15.
Good thing you burned the die there.
No. The funny thing is that was a negative explosion there. I rolled a negative 11.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No, that fortune die held that
maximum
fortune.
of 4 to die.
Yep.
And then 5.
The fortune die saved you there, actually.
It's a fortune parry.
It was a fortune parry for sure. All right, so do not give Olan food poisoning. Excellent.
No, you in fact make a quite good dinner. Because your odd jobs at 15, you were a very good cook.
Oh, thanks to Lou. I appreciate it. Also, Batu has like stuff going on, but he's over there. He's ignoring me right now, so we can't.
Nothing's going on. There are no Mongols riding south.
Yeah, there are. Okay, so
funny you should mention that. And
like the conversation path opens up because you did this side objective thing, and there was a padlock on it, but now it's unlocked.
Yeah.
Yuri's just going to pull the rubbing from her bag and will just kind of just lay it into the general space for anyone to look at. And she will look at Zhao in particular, since Zhao was not around for this particular bit of information, but may be very curious.
So Zhao does come up to her and read the records. He sighs and he looks at Yuri. He's like, these are clearly highly confidential. I'm not going to ask how you got them because I know how you got them.
You know how I got them. Come
Yeah.
on, that is so obvious.
Yeah, it's like well, to be clear, not asking because you know the answer. It's like Zhao is not a lawyer. Zhao's not interested in asking questions they already know the answer to.
Oh no, the court official might have to arrest me. Whatever will I do?
He sees it as this really. It looks over at Batu, but I actually want to imagine Batu. It's just kind of like he's already in. He's asleep, so we can talk about this without him,
or at least pretending to be asleep.
Yeah, pretending to be like, so we can talk about this without him freaking out. It's like,
I'm totally asleep. The weak horses depress me.
Great. So, well, I do believe we were heading that way anyway. This is troubling news that I should probably do something about.
I imagine the part of someone Imperial amongst their ranks would be of particular interest.
Yeah, he does frown at that. We've been seeing a lot of Imperial eunuchs.
You know, I'm not from around here, but I have to say, for all the effort that you put in towards maintaining this governance, it doesn't seem like it's very good to me.
You know, and Zhao kind of frowns because he's, that's kind of like his ongoing story this entire time. He's like, this government kind of sucks, even though I keep trying to keep things going. He's like, well, I'm generally starting to agree with you on that, but
Oh,
but he's also
High praise.
but he also just kind of like crosses his arms and like looks to the side. He's like, that doesn't mean I'm about to overthrow the government, but
You can always
Because
try
I-
to
was
underthrow
yours.
it.
Be
Statement,
careful! Be
not
careful! You might bring Batu back into the conversation.
Yeah.
Let's like I was like that
I'm
was
not
just
the one
like
who suggested this. That was your choice of words.
Dalu was just said like well, overthrowing might be something that our Mongol friend might be more adept at. Maybe underthrowing it would be more your speed.
I don't think softballing the government is a wise idea.
We just got to granny toss the government, and that'll get. It's actually
No. We should just have my people, my tribe, right down here and just conquer the whole thing. That's the easy answer.
It might easy as it might be. Sometimes the easy answer is not the best answer. It's
I mean, it works out for us.
Yeah, that's why all your weapons suck.
You take that back.
No.
you proved me
At
wrong
least we have
first.
forces.
Have you seen our bows? You can't shoot one of your bows properly. You can't shoot one of your bows properly from horseback.
Shadow's like, talk to me when you have matched the efficiency of the dart crossbow.
Who do you think invented the crossbow?
Honestly, like I don't think the Mongols did that one.
No, but no, I will say the dart crossbow, while very
is or is not true, I think it's in line for Batu.
yes, I will say the dart crossbow, while very nice, has a lot of advantages. Not so good for firing repeatedly from horseback.
Nope,
Not with that
at all.
attitude. Nope.
It's good for one shot.
Yes,
Make it count.
yes, and then what if you want to make another shot count?
So for the dinner for these folks here, I'm realizing the funniest answer is that East Persian inexplicably has a different type of dish.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the very like I'm thinking like here's my line of thought like what is the Slayer's way of doing this thing here?
There you go.
Lou, you look very fox-like all of a sudden.
What are you talking? Anyways, the important thing here is the okay, what are the different dishes people have? Like, okay, let's go. Anyways, but that was just like, well, regardless of how the government gets thrown, it does stand to reason that however it's operating presently is insufficient for the well-being of its citizens.
At least
Yeah,
in this area.
yeah. Like, Xiao's on the line. It's like we can't let them keep running amok down here. There's a lot of innocent farmers here, and it is along the way. Xiao looks to Yuri. He's like, I did promise you I would help you look for your the Imperial princess. She is the daughter of the Emperor, correct?
Yes.
It's been a while. Yes.
The
Like,
Imperial Princess, yes.
yeah. So he's like, I did promise that we would find the Emperor's daughter, and the last we heard, she was in the palace to the north, correct?
She should be at
She
the
was the
rear.
nor-
She should be at the rear palace, which is right near the main. Which is in the same place as the Imperial Palace, same city.
Okay.
It is the
So
it is
isn't
the
that-
it is the palace that is set up for the Emperor's concubines, basically.
Right, and
So it's in the direction of the capital, which is where the
Yes.
Mongols are heading.
Hey.
And there's an imperial capital where there also might be an imperial general. So,
yeah.
i.e.,
Xiao's like, it seems our justice converging. We might be able to find the Emperor's daughter yet and save the day.
If you're into that sort of thing.
he he just looks at her. He's like, clearly I am.
I've decided the most anachronistic dish that Yuri has is some kari, a dish that some Japanese curry, which would not at all exist for over a millennium.
For so many different reasons.
There's just a takeout container in the background of one of the shots.
Uh,
I created this delicious dish.
it's this Indian British Japanese dish.
Mm-hmm. And then, with mangoes.
There's just like the critics
For
watching this show.
those
20
who
years
don't know, I have genuinely cooked this. It is what I consider my specialty.
It does sound pretty good.
It is.
I do want to imagine like the critics watching this 20 years from now, like this is the most anachronistic movie I have seen ever. It's literally just some YouTube food critic talking about like, what is this doing here? And he's like, back as
you're
we
going
were.
to tell me this dish was made by a mermaid.
Are you telling me a shrimp fried this rice? So as we were, it's like we all seem to have reached the conclusion that that's where we need to be heading. That's where all our destinies are kind of leading us.
What? No.
Like I've been saying this entire time.
And then the camera pans off to Batu, his sleeping body, his back's to the fire, and then we get the shot of his face, and he's got the shock of fear in his face as he realizes what we're going to be doing.
Oh no!
Sweat beating on the forehead.
Right.
Oh. All right. Okay. So, you're going to be heading towards the capital.
So it would seem.
All right.
Does seem
cool.
to be the plan.
Excellent. All right. I think of what I need to what I've got to do for this session. All right. So, I guess then, unless there's anything else you want to handle in the evening, we can roll on to the next day and you can start traveling.
I think that at some point, Lan is going to pull Zhao aside.
Okay. Take it away.
So the others were kind of being hard on you about, your job before. I have a question. I want you to understand, Mr. Shao, that this is a legitimate one, and I'm not trying to just be hard on you. It does seem like the people that in your line of work we've come across, a lot of them are corrupt and hurting the thing that you're trying to preserve when their job is supposed to be doing what you want. And whenever that happens, you don't seem very surprised by it.
Zhao just, he does kind of sigh when she said that. It's like, no, I'm not. As much as I wish more people were concerned about keeping the nation running and letting us live in times of peace and making sure everybody has enough food, enough money around. Far too often, because the Middle Kingdom's so big, people think, hey, nobody's watching me. I can take a little now. And then a little bit later, they take a little bit more. And a little bit more. And then eventually they're taking a lot. And then eventually something bad happens. And that seems to be the story of, the history of China. People just, they get complacent. And then something bad happens. And then we change things. And then they get complacent. Something bad happens. And Zhao, he kind of shrugs, but he's like, but that doesn't mean I should stop trying to put out the fires. I don't want the country to burn down for all the bad my compatriots do. Somebody has to care about this.
Why do you think that?
Well, because if nobody cared about it, then we wouldn't be able to live. Even if I'm the only one out here trying to do good, then at least that means somebody's doing good. And maybe that'll help somebody get by. And maybe, maybe somebody will do something. Maybe we'll finally get somebody in power that'll just been good. Sometimes you just have to lead by example.
Do you ever look at the setbacks that you encounter and think you have some doubts about it? If you ever feel like maybe this thing that you're trying to accomplish is never actually going to happen?
I like to think here there's like as she's like saying there's a little flashback of him breaking into somewhere as Shan Yang, and he sees a official that he knows is corrupt and is never going to change. And then there's just that moment where he kind of like raises just one of his little mini crossbows, and actually, you can tell that he's very clearly thinking about just doing something that is blatantly wrong, killing a man in his sleep. And then it cuts back to him. He's like, I always try to do the right thing. Even if things aren't right. Even if I don't. I always try to do the right thing, even if I don't always believe things are going to get better. Because somebody has to.
So you do the right thing because it's just the right thing, not because you think it'll be good necessarily.
Sometimes doing good things for the sake of doing the right thing is the right thing. I don't know. I just think I've looked away too much. And I'm not talking about the little things. I'm not talking about somebody giving a guard an extra coin so they can, get to the line, or giving a bureaucrat a favor so they can get something done. I'm concerned about the big things. But yeah, it's a lot to take in. But I want it to be better.
Well, maybe things will get better, Mr. Zhao. After all, it's not just you out here trying to do good. There's also Shan Yung.
He's like, yes, he is an example to aspire to. That handsome, daring adventurer,
Well,
righting wrongs.
He wears a mask. He could be ugly under it.
Listen, I'm just assuming that he is handsome because he does good things, and therefore, but more importantly, man, that Zhao Young is great. I wish I could be him one day, if only. If
We should
only.
all be like Shan Yang.
I mean, it's really more important what he does than what he looks like, I think that you're kind of like conflating the messages here. But anyway, it's okay if you don't really understand Shan Yung and what he stands for, but he is definitely something to aspire to, Mr. Zhao, yes.
I said that was the added layer of just like, yes, Zhao Yung is inherently good existentially, therefore anything Zhao Yung does is ontologically good by very nature. That's how morality works.
Yeah, it's not that far from might makes right.
I want to imagine that Yuri and Dao Lu are just kind of just cracking up in the background when Shan Yang gets brought up.
I mean, like it's hard to laugh when you have an onigiri or two,
Yeah.
No, my mistake.
Wait a second.
Jelly donuts, a jelly donut or two. My mistake.
Donuts.
Both of them are.
Okay, yeah, okay, you're right. We'll have just some movie instead there. We'll
Okay,
just
fine.
Yeah.
there we go.
All right.
At this, Zhao does look at Olan. It's like, don't you trying to do the right thing? You've been looking for the owner of that sword for so long. You could have taken that to yourself. You're clearly scared enough to use it.
Why would I need a sword?
And Zhao's like, why would I need to be corrupt?
Well, no, I mean, like, I don't really. There's nothing I really want to accomplish with a sword. So why do I need one?
So what you're saying is, once you deliver this, you're going, what? Back home to pound out swords with your father?
Well, I mean, that sounds like a really weird way of putting it, but yes. It's not a bar. We don't just. No, I mean, yeah, I mean, like, I had a weird conversation with the captain that I met with today, and he said that it would be an option to me to join his guard if I really wanted to. And I mean, it's it's a very nice gesture. It's flattering that someone who is in that station respects my skill in that way. But I don't really want to just fight for a living. I've always wanted to do what my father does. And the way that I do that is by learning from him up until a point where, well, the idea, I suppose, is that he'll meet someone that he could take on as apprentice and that, or, introduce me to, the son of another smith, and then the two of us would get married, and then I would help him the way that my mother helps my father.
There's a like while she's talking about this, there's like internal dialogue going on through Zhao's head. He's like, "Oh God, she actually hasn't picked up on the shit."
Also, actually, don't tell anyone this, but some of the swords that have been crafted for people, they're not actually crafted by my father. My mother's actually very, very good at it too, but everyone just like wants it to be from the great swordsmith Yezi, So, but don't tell anyone.
I won't tell anyone.
You can keep a secret, right? No one will believe you. It doesn't matter.
Oh, woman making swords? What?
Exactly. Sounds crazy, right?
Zhao just kind of laughs there. He's just like, "Look, if a life of simplicity out in the country, working with your family is what you really want, then
Don't
yes."
talk about it like that. Now you're talking like Yuri does.
He's just got his drive. He's like, "There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not telling you shouldn't do this. I'm just saying, think about it."
What is your tone right now? We were having a great conversation until like 2 minutes ago. Sean Young would have never done this. He gets up and walks away.
Oh dear.
And Sean Young's like, "And this is why I'm still single." Maybe the units had the right of it.
Ugh. Women. Apparently, Yezi's wife was actually like a very accomplished swordsmith in her own right.
Oh really? That's cool.
Yep.
Neat.
It's just, but also like it's one of those things of like.
Yuri's going to creep up behind Zhao at this point.
Okay.
There's no way in hell she gets together with a guy.
And he's like, "I know." He doesn't care about it. Like obviously, like he's part of the court. He doesn't have any of the weird. I guess we consider them weird. Like he's just like he doesn't care about any of this stuff. He's just like whatever. like, like her father is going to be so upset. Oh well. At least we'll have China will have another great swordsmith.
You know what? Maybe you guys just haven't met the type of guy that Lon's into. You know.
You left. Shut up.
She prefers a well-honed type. I see.
What's going to happen is she's going to meet a soldier, and it's going to be one of those women that are like impersonating a male soldier, like fucking Mulan, and she's gonna fall for it.
No. Don't say like Mulan. Just say
Hey,
it's Mulan.
No, hold on. I don't think that this matches up either.
Wait a minute. This might be a historical and a mythological at the same time.
No, that's like 3 centuries too early.
It's just on the box of on the cover of the DVD box set, the most inaccurate ahistorical gay Chinese drama you've never seen.
All right.
Incidentally, I just want to throw out that the real joke in my comment there was like, yeah, no, I can totally believe that she could just stay with being a smith. That is a valid path for her. That's cool. This is the part that's BS.
If anything, I feel like I've just been playing Lon as Ace. Like,
Yeah.
Sure. I can see that. Yep. All right.
You'll note, I didn't say what
You
Lon
did not.
would
You
get
did not.
together with.
Right.
Yep. All right. Anything else, or do we move forward to the next day?
Onward.
Okay. All right. So you set out. You're headed off towards the capital. This is going to be a bit of a trip. It is not. You're not like super far away. It's like achievable in a reasonable amount of time. You are hopefully you are closer to the capital than the Mongols are, because they have horses.
You see, I told you they have real horses, so that gets them to real places really fast. I can hear Mecca really trying hard not to laugh.
Anywho, you set out. Honestly, your first days of travel, just nothing happens. Like, it's almost like most of the time, China's not that. It's like there's not a lot of like horrible, awful things happening around you. China's a big place. Lots of stuff. There'll be lots of bad stuff happening, but it won't necessarily be happening near you. It's a big place. Eventually you do arrive at a nice little village. It's a nice little farming community. They got rice fields out past them. They growing other vegetables and livestock and all that stuff. It much like that first village where you all met the first time. Really similar. It's almost like that village is. It's almost like we're filming on the exact same fucking set. But
like position the cameras on the other side of the street.
Yeah, exactly.
They moved some of the shrubs slightly.
Yes.
All of us are kind of looking around, going like, "Huh."
I mean, you guys have all been to a bunch of different villages. They're all really similar. Really, obviously, they're totally not.
This is kind of like how every Korean historical drama uses the one like historical village that's still around.
Right, exactly. Or how many episodes of Doctor Who are filmed in that exact same granite quarry in Wales?
Or how all Star Trek keeps using that same quarry.
Yep.
Yeah, the one from Power Rangers.
Right.
At any rate, yes. But this is totally different. That roof is not broken like the previous village was.
Oh yeah.
you arrive in the village. The villagers are all like, travelers. Nice to see you all. Yeah. So yeah, you guys all sort of, you're able to get, it's evening time. It's evening. So, it's, you can find a place, there's a bit of an inn type place here that you can find a place to stay. And they serve food and drink and such, and you're able to settle in for the night. And while you are settling in for the night, I'm not going to make you roll for anything, or you find an inn. It's not that. While you are eating your dinner, a man bursts into the inn, because this is where it's evening. The inn is a central place where people tend to hang out. Like the village elder is here, right, etc. And a man bursts in the room and says, he's bedraggled. He's lost his hat. His clothes are a bit tattered and torn. He's got mud on his face.
A beast has stolen my daughter!
No. But not as far off as you think. No, he's...
What's this French guy doing in ancient China?
Exactly.
For a hot second, I thought it was actually Mecha saying that, and I was incredibly confused for a moment.
Nope, wasn't me. Bandits! On horseback!
Oh dear.
They're just up there. They just hit the village just up the road, and looks like they're headed this way.
Part of me just pictures the idea of Batu saying, now, when you say horses, do you mean actual horses or those twigs you call horses around here?
I don't know. I just heard. They were horses. They were fast.
Maybe we need to talk to a horse doctor about this, or the horse mechanic about this. But
Horse repairman. Why can no one around here in this country get that right?
Batu chastising himself for forgetting his own words is a very odd line. But yes.
Okay, so, all right, bandits are coming. Okay, so I'm
Yes.
going to kind of like look at everyone and be like, so should we go up there or should we like fortify here?
Well, the village.
Zhao,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
let's see, like Zhao, Zhao kind of like.
Well, yeah,
he-
there are a bunch
he
of
touches
people
his
are gathering around the village elder to discuss things. They're not paying any attention to you guys right now.
Yeah, like Zhao kind of like just scratches his chin, thinking, it's like, if they're on horseback, we probably don't have time to go out there. Or rather, we don't have much time to try to fortify things. We might have to tell the villagers to do their best fortifying and then go out to meet them.
Well, I mean, you might have time to actually to help put up rudimentary fortifications, at least.
Like Zhao kind of looks to Dalu. It's like you're the one who's good at this sort of thing. Do you think we have time?
Dalu, he's asking your professional opinion whether you think there might be time before the bandits get here to actually erect anything resembling useful fortifications.
Dalu just sort of looks around. It's like, I think our fortifications are good enough as is. I'm not a military strategist or a fortification specialist, but I have everything I need around here to defend what is needed.
Okay.
Yuri is going to drop down behind the villager that has burst in and just kind of tap the shoulder.
Ah! Can I help you, miss?
I enjoy when people do that. Follow me. I will provide you with what you need. Gather as many people as you can.
What? What provide? What do you mean? What?
We're going to remove the horses from the equation, and that will take riders with them.
Oh, okay. Sure.
We need hands.
Okay. he gathers a few people, and the village elder like looks up. Like, excuse me, what are you doing?
Just get people.
Well, they're helping, I guess. He gestures a whole bunch of the people. You go help the lady. Elder sort of scratches his head and says, I don't know what's... bandit? There have been no bandits in this area in decades. What's going on?
Alon is like, meanwhile, like talking to Batu and being like, "So what kind of things do you do to defend against this?" And he's just sort of like, "You can't defend against it; it's pointless."
Well, okay, there are things that
We're
do
too
slow.
good.
There are things that do slow it down sometimes,
Right? Okay.
right? So, like, if he lists off some like classic anti-cavalry things that that are done, like I believe like digging ditches and shit.
Which is basically what Yuri is going to
I
instruct
figured.
people to do.
Yeah.
Because I actually have a pretty good drive score, so she actually understands this.
Yes. All right. So yeah,
I don't have sabotage, but I know what makes horses go
Does
sad.
anyone have sabotage? Out of curiosity,
I do
Sabotage.
not.
I do not. I have Fix It, so I can help get things.
I don't remember if Batu does, and I don't have his character sheet, so
I don't think so.
I don't believe.
think anyone in this team has.
I don't think
sabotage.
so either. But
Yeah.
all right. Well, you are able to gather a bunch of people together to erect fortifications, dig some anti-cavalry ditches and such.
I'm going to get as much of a fire going as I can, and I'm going to like repurpose like some hose and stuff into spears with my smithing ability.
Oh yeah,
Sure,
absolutely.
spears.
That's good.
You
And
can absolutely, yeah. You can convert farm implements into actual weapons. Yes, give me a smithing roll.
Wait. What are you doing? Changing those perfectly useful weapons there?
I mean, some of them you do not need to do much of anything to. Like,
Right.
yeah,
I just like the idea.
Reinforce a little bit of the haft, and that's about it.
yeah,
I just like the idea of like
you really don't need to do
Olad.
You don't need to do anything to like a pitchfork, for example.
Right.
I like the idea of like taking the farm implement, actually turning it into like a more traditional weapon, and then Daolu turning it back
Into
to
a
resemble more
farm-
Like
the-
it comes off the rack. Daolu picks it up, breaks it. Perfect.
Perfect.
I mean, to be honest, I definitely wouldn't want to be hit by like, one of these like old Chinese hose.
No, God, no.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think you understand why Daolu does not desire for a sword.
No, there are a lot of
He has
a lot of farm implements in general are perfectly valid weapons.
And you don't even need that much of an imagination for
No,
it.
you don't. You just hit people with them.
That thing that goes through the soil, put it through their head.
Just
No, instead of tilling the dirt, turn them into dirt.
Fill the brains.
Uh-huh. Also,
But,
yeah.
So this might be a bit of an extension given that I'm operating off of drive and not, sabotage or something. But given that I have intrusion and I think in these terms,
Sure.
Yuri is going to also suggest that there either be people or contraptions, if possible, to basically just throw ropes with, rocks on each end, bullets, basically, towards the horses when they come in.
Sure. You can instruct people to do things like that. Sure. Absolutely. So Yuri, I would like you to give me a ride roll, actually.
Driving?
Driving,
Okay.
yeah.
We'll throw a fortune.
Sure. 13. Okay.
13.
You're able to give some decent instruction of how to the type of pits, ditches you want to dig, and etc.
I realize sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
People are able to, and the villagers know how to build fences. Like,
Right.
hastily erecting fences as fortification. They understand this.
I have another skill I want to offer up to help in this.
Absolutely.
It's a very I have a skill I've not used that much. Info peasant life.
Oh, absolutely.
Ooh.
Give me a roll.
All right, let's see here. Wow.
16.
16.
Okay, you know a lot of
Well,
peasant tricks for fending off bandits. Yeah.
I'm going to point out again, this is another fortune parry where I rolled a 5 on the negative and a 5 on the fortune. So
Well done.
yeah.
So yeah, no,
like,
you come up
yeah.
with a few tricks that can that you know that once they are starting to be implemented, people around the people who are not in, like the peasants go, oh yeah, we can do that, sure, no problem, and
We're home aloneing the place. Okay, that's
basically
right.
yeah, basically.
yeah.
Yeah, and Zhao is going to use his fix it to help actually get all this set up, following Dao Lu's instructions. So I might as well throw die out for that too.
All right.
It's not too bad. I only have an 11.
All right, cool. That will help. That will absolutely help. All right.
have like like a nice little trap, a friendly little like boiling vat of oil above a door, that when someone walks through, it falls on top of them. Friendly
All right.
pranks.
All right. So as you finish up doing all of this, you can see cresting the top of the hill a group of horsemen riding over the top of the hill and come barreling down towards the village. But as they sort of come down the hill, they do slow down a bit. And you can sort of see, you can tell that they're sort of. I want to check something here before I say anything. All right, I just want to check something too anachronistic, and it would be way too anachronistic for them to do. All right, like by like more than a millennia. All right, so they come riding down. They actually come pretty close, but they start slowing up just before. You can tell they're slowing down. Is they're definitely sort of like a little suspicious by the amount of lights sort of in the village that are, and you can tell like there's something off here. Like the sort of the attitude you get from the way the bandits are approaching. When the lead horseman fails their perception roll. Actually, I should make a roll here. Hang on, let me make a notice roll. Nope.
That ain't good.
That's a dead average roll, which is not good enough to notice a hidden trench. Rides his horse into the trench. The horse makes a very unhappy noise. As does the man who falls into the trench. Which I'm assuming you guys. I'm assuming you guys put spikes in there.
I mean, that's not too hard to do. You just take wood and you sharpen it. So
Yeah, that's my point.
This is Yuri we're talking about.
That was my point. I just wanted to make sure.
Yuri led this initiative. It is incredibly fatal.
That is what yeah. Okay. The other horsemen.
There's no spikes. There's no spikes down there, but there's a note hanging from it that has a sarcastic message on it.
The other horsemen slow up. Look. Now that they're closer, you can actually have some light. The horses look a bit burlier than most horses you're used to, and the men on horseback look a bit Mongolian.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that means anything.
Horses.
Sorry, what was that, Nick?
Oh, I just said, wow, they do have different horses.
yeah,
I like to think that the note that Yuri left in the pit just says "Omae wa shinderu," and like people have to just respect the note. They're like, well, the note says so. I don't know what it means, but
And then the second pit at the bottom of the pit gives way, and then they
Exactly.
fall into space.
yes, yeah, it's the perfect.
And then
the
their brains
double-
explode.
It's
The
not only
double-
lethal, it's sadistic. Yes.
Yes, they right. They no clip out of the map and die. That's what they do.
Yes. The Arma 3 level of anti-cavalry measures.
So the lead horseman sort of puts his fingers in his mouth and whistles, and you see a bunch of the horsemen in the back, behind him, sort of turn around and ride back over the hill.
Yuri is going to appropriate some blasting powder from Zhao's supply, and is going to creep around this group of dudes before they can start leaving too quickly.
I was not being clear. There's the horse. It's not the group that's right up close. It's a group that's further up, back up by the hill. So
Sure. I'm figuring that these guys are probably going to withdraw.
Oh, they're going to try to withdraw in a
I want to
bit.
force them into the trap while the getting's good.
I get that. Okay, fine. Make the roll.
Oh, that's a poor intrusion roll.
That is. Oh no, yeah, okay. I guess I'll make a notice roll for them then.
Remember, they roll like a 40 or something.
Okay.
I was gonna say they roll a 47. Well, like there's a 7 in there and a 4.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, they do not notice you behind them. If you would like to set off the black powder, you may do so.
Pow.
Yeah, POW go off. Horses do not like that sort of thing.
No, they don't.
All right. Trying to think what I'm trying to think of how I wanted to handle this mechanically.
Can you roll an intimidation against the horses?
Well, I mean, actually, Fornea, do you have intimidation?
I do not.
Okay, I figured not.
I have deceit, but I'm guessing that's not what you're looking for.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to think of just. I'm trying to think of a way to establish a DC for the horses to roll to resist panic. I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to decide what it might be a valid a way to either determine it or a valid number. Like the horses are not going to have a good odds at this. Let me just say this right now. No matter what.
Maybe just like.
Give me a moment. I'm just thinking.
I'm 8, like will check.
I mean that I'm trying to decide what the number is. The appropriate is that's my thing right now. Because you don't have an appropriate roll. So okay, I'm gonna go for. All right, DC 10 I think seems good. That is a reasonably difficult check. All right, horse willpower is not that high. I'm gonna give them. I'm going to be generous to the horses. Oh my god!
Oh wow.
Those horses.
All right. Well, the horses are. I'm gonna say this. The horses are definitively spooked. Like there's no chance of them not being spooked. But I'm going to say that gives the riders a chance to use the drive skill to try to like not to panic into the pit.
Keep things under control. Yeah.
I think that's reasonable. And this is
Yes,
not.
absolutely.
And depending on how well I roll, it's not going to be a blanket succeed or fail.
I will laugh so hard if you like break 20 and all of them just like turn around, point at Yuri, and just like kill her.
All right, I'm going to go for it.
I will laugh.
Okay, what is their ride skill? That is actually a good question. For not great. Will be like these are unnamed characters. So, all right, 10. That's all right. So Yuri, you detonate the little your improvised flashbang type thing. A couple more horses are spooked and ride into the pit with it because they're but the leader sort of managed to keep his horse in control, and a couple other guys do. One of them sort of looks behind and sees Yuri. You can scamper away if you'd like to.
Yes.
All right. So the remaining Mongol sort of nods. You are prepared. That is good. We will be back. He sort of pulls in the reins and turns the horses around and they ride off. You are welcome to shoot at them if you'd like.
A few knives fly here and there, and that's it.
You drop it. You guys are able to people between any bows or ranged weapons in the village, and you're able to drop a couple more Mongols because again they're unnamed characters. I just want to make sure that I was hoping to be able to at least have the Mongol at least like threaten you guys with the reinforcements coming. That's why I was like, I don't want them to all die before I get a line out.
So what happens is at some point, Zhao went off to turn into Shan Yang, and like when he comes back in Shan Yang before he's done, this is like the one of the villagers like they're running away, and he just kind of like melds back, like Homer Simpson, and that he's like, oh, okay.
Well, I mean, you very much got to, my job here is done.
Then you look back at your powder bag. It's like,
did I? Didn't I? All right. Well, the villagers are all celebrating. Yay! Then we drove them off.
They'll be back,
and in greater numbers. You actually do hear a grumbling, sort of a under sort of sotto voce, sort of like worried, and in greater numbers from Batu. It's like, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So yes, the Mongols will return. That is sort of what I have kind of prepped for in terms of, I don't want to start the actual big, I didn't want to start the actual big fight that I was
Without Eric.
Right.
without Eric, and B, like I wanted to save that for when we have the full crew.
Yeah, understandable.
But yes, there are Mongols here.
I was just trying to thin numbers.
Oh no, you did. You probably got at least like a half dozen at least. Like, and I was okay. So unsurprisingly, this is not the main force of the Mongols. These. Batu will probably tell you that. Yeah, that's probably just a scouting force that's out there foraging and such. They ride ahead of the main horde.
Yep.
But yeah. So unless there's other stuff you'd like to, anything you'd like to, so yeah, the village elders their village is celebrating. They're right, and the village elders like, no, they didn't you guys hear? He said they'd be back. The elder turns to Yuri and everybody and says, "Thank you for the assistance you have. If it is it at all possible you'd be able to help us maybe since the Mongols since the raiders said they'd be back. He doesn't know that they're Mongols. He just they're bandits. Yes. Would you be willing to help us defend the village against them?"
Realistically, take your village and go away. You're not going to be able to hold up to their numbers.
Like, Zhao does look at Yuri like very scornfully, and then he does kind of nod, look at the village elders, like that might be for the best. Pack up what you can and get out of here. You have the time to escape now.
As a side note, you can also take it from the standpoint of take what is important, leave, and when they finish passing through, return and repair.
Yes.
Staying here and fighting in the immediate might thin their numbers, but it will decimate yours.
Zhao just kind of like go to the nearby.
These are no ordinary bandits, then, is what you're saying.
They're in some ways worse than bandits. They're organized.
I see.
Some would argue that they're better than bandits, but but you're in their way and a source of resources, so that's not going to be working out for you in either case.
I see.
Is it just the resources they're after?
Everything and everyone is a resource.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, does this village have like enough to supply all of them? Like, is it worth it to them to fight this hard for it?
Or could there be something else that they're looking?
What difficulty would there be in overrunning a small village?
Well, yeah, but then the guy said that they would be back after they had to run away.
I think
I'm-
the important. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Miss-
go ahead.
I'm
Miss
just
Ron.
saying. I'm just curious if there's something that's going on beyond just like wanting to just run through the village.
Miss Lon,
Mm-hmm.
imagine 1,000 Batu upon horseback.
Yeah.
Do you think this village would even remotely pose any difficulty?
Well, my point is, what would 1,000 Batu want from a village this size?
You don't want me to answer that question.
Okay.
Also, it's not just one village; it's multiple villages that they're raiding.
Well, and also kind of like giving a little bit of like a sidelong glance at actual Batu too.
Yeah, like I understand what Olan's play here is. It's like,
Right.
yeah, like, and that's certainly a thing that we can answer next time.
Yeah,
In that respect,
Mhm.
I think we will. I think we can table it here and pick up the discussion about whether to defend the village or what to do next time when Eric's here, so he can lend his voice to it too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
this is got
That's a good idea.
So, all right.
I think this is a good break point. It's a bit of a short session. I do know, but
No, this is around the time that I was kind of hoping we would finish up. So that's
yeah.
cool.
So it's a good break point, and it means that we can. This is largely to sort of move us onto the path where the campaign is going next, and we are on that path now. Huzzah!
Huzzah.
So I hope you all enjoyed. We will be back probably sometime soon. Hopefully in 2 weeks. Hopefully everyone will be available in 2 weeks. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you all next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.